Our next award winner celebrated his 80th birthday this year. Younger viewers will remember him as Grandpa Joe, playing against Johnny Depp in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. A more mature audience might remember him as the inept builder O'Reilly in Father Towers, Fawlty Towers even, and most of us will know him as Rashers Tierney in Strumpet City.
I love David Kelly, and I'll tell you why. Because he's one of those few people that you meet on occasions that you think, gentleman, an old school gentleman.
He is the funniest man I know.
You've heard of the genius of the lamp, Mrs. Fawlty. Well, that's me.
Oh, don't smile.
Why are you smiling, Mr. O'Reilly?
Well, to be perfectly honest, Mrs. Fawlty, I like a woman with spirit.
He is consummate in theatre, film and television. And to top it all, he is the greatest living Irish actor.
He always makes you feel that the moment you see him, you are the one person on the planet he wanted to see at that moment. You know, he has all that grace and charm of the true gentleman.
My favourite role that Dad played was definitely Rashers Tierney in Strumpet City, because he was only 49 when he played Rashers Tierney, and you know, he looked like he was in his 70s, and it was just a beautiful piece of work. I think it was really beautiful job he did of that, really. I could watch it over and over again.
And who in God's name christened you Rasher?
A little woman did. A little woman beat the name of my lord that lived in Chanter's Court. I came to her when I was a baby.
Where from?
Oh, don't ask me. Maybe God left me under a dustbin lid.
He's played just about everything that you could wish for, and yet one always thinks, when you think of David Kelly, you start to smile immediately because he's one of the most naturally funny men.
I don't think he'll ever retire. To use his own phrase, you'll have to take me out and shoot me, which I think we'll have to do, because he's simply not going to retire. He was 80 last week, and though it's a big number, it's just a number at the end of the day.
He's just spanned the generations, and I think that's why people will be glad to see him getting this award tonight, because they'll be looking at him going, children will be saying, oh, there's Grandpa Joe, and somebody else will be going, there's Rashers Tierney, somebody else will go, there's the man from Fawlty Towers. So, yeah, it's a wonderful cross appeal, and rightly so.
Here to present a special award to David Kelly, please welcome Neil Tobin and Colin Meaney.
David Kelly is an incredible actor and comic who has delighted both national and international audiences for over 50 years, without ever losing that trademark Irish wit. He's an example to us all, and I, for one, am a complete fan.
I've had the pleasure of knowing, well done Neil, that wonderful voice of Neil Tobin. I've had the pleasure of knowing David Kelly for many years. And nobody knows when David started in the business. It was that long ago. But I can remember as a small boy watching him and Jimmy O'Dea in the signal box on Sunday nights. And I've also known for many years that he's a gentleman. Now, I was told this by an aunt of mine who worked at a shop on Grafton Street, well-known, B&T. And she informed me when I was a kid, actually, that man, David Kelly, is an absolute gentleman. He buys all his underwear in Brown Thomas. And I thought that was a great endorsement of a man as a gentleman. So it gives Neil and I both great pleasure to present this People of the Year award for a lifetime contribution to the arts. Someone who's not only a great friend, but, as I said, an old gentleman of the stage, screen and television. David Kelly. So good to see you. Congratulations.
Congratulations,
Yes.
David.
No.
Congratulations.
They lie so easily.
Don't they, though? I was going to ask you what it feels like to be a national treasure, but what I want to ask you now is how does it feel to know that the entire nation knows that your underwear is above reproach?
Well, I can't prove it. And,
and we're not
he's
going to ask
talking
you
about
to.
many years ago.
I'm
Listen,
sure things haven't
this is an
changed.
extraordinary happening. I'm just looking at the people who have been nominated, and the pride I feel in being included with those people. What I'm doing here is still a slight mystery. But those people to be honoured by the Irish, because I think the Irish are remarkable people, I think that is wonderful, because they're marvellous people. And it's an honour to be lumped in with them, because my proudest boast, really, is that I'm Irish, and that I have the most beautiful daughter and best son in the world. They're my proudest boasts. But national treasure, I don't know. There is a recession, but even at that.
Neil, you soldiered with this man here.
Yes, we lived together for a while in
did you?
Ealing.
Yes, we did.
We did.
And
It was called The Odd Couple.
Yes. And the landlady had one little, say, David and Neil. She said, "Oh, David is a darling, he's a darling." But Neil...
I wonder why.
I was dusty.
Absolutely. No, he was wonderful. He was wonderful.
Colm, you actually went on a road trip with this man, didn't you?
You did?
We did, yes, we drove
He
from,
brought me up to San Francisco for the first time.
Yes, yeah, from Los Angeles. We drove, we did it in about, what, 2.5, 3 days.
Did you wear flowers in your hair?
We didn't wear flowers in the hair, no. David was, David talked all the way from Los Angeles up there and smoked.
That's
We smoked
perfectly
in those
true.
days.
I did in those days.
We were a young fella in those days. And I actually, there was a moment of passing Hearst Castle where I thought I might stop him, you know. David, there's Hearst Castle. We went, yeah. What was I saying? What was I saying? You know, continued. It was great. It was one of the most entertaining drives I've ever taken.
Well, thank you, and it was wonderful. Can I say something very quickly
Of
about
course you
the
can.
reason I'm here, which is still a mystery, with these wonderful people who've won awards? It was mostly luck that I'm here tonight and that I've had the wonderful career I've had, because I've worked with the most wonderful people in the world, from Hilton and Michael and Cyril Cusack and Donal and all those wonderful people. I was lucky enough to work with them. And indeed those who are still alive, like my friend Tobin, like my friend Milo. He's much older than you think. And Milo, and wonderful people like Des Cave and Des Laffin and Pat Laffin, Michael Colgan. These are not just ordinary actors who are good at their job. I am talking about superb creative artists who set the kind of standard that you had to try and reach. I had to reach that bar that was set, and it was hard work, because really the standard was incredible. And tonight is the night to acknowledge the fact that 90% of it is thanks to those people. I love them,
Well said.
and I thank them for that, for giving me the career I had and I'm still having. God bless, I love you, and thank you.
Thank you, Dave. Ladies and gentlemen, our special thanks to Colm Meaney and Neil Tobin, and our lifetime contribution to the Arts Award, of course, to David Kelly. Thank you so much, and congratulations.